Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Swinehart Field. For my broadcast partner, Stephen MacDonald, I'm Chris Wright. And Stephen, it is Civil War night in Utica. The Utica Chieftains are here on the road as the road team taking on Eisenhower.
Yeah, it's always fun when these two teams can get together on this mutual field. Something we saw about this time a year ago, in fact, as well. And I had a chance just a moment ago to catch up with Chieftain head coach Matt Maruli. Here with Chieftain head coach Matt Maruli on Shelby TV. Coach, going back to last week, what did you see from your team? Big conference win there to end the conference schedule.
Yeah, it was a big win for us. It's always a hard battle against Ford, rivalry game. Both sides always come out and play hard, and we were able to make some big plays early and get the run game going, and we played a great game defensively, able to get some big stops. So it was a great win. I was proud of the kids.
Now, that was obviously a big conference win, like I said, also kind of big for the overall season, keeps the team alive, looks like, for the playoffs these last couple of games. Kind of talk about this game here tonight against Eisenhower and what this game really means to this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's, every game the rest of the way is a huge game, and especially, here against Eisenhower, against a good football team that we know, is going to be a challenge for us, and, we're excited about it, and we know that, we got to come out and play our best football. So we're just excited for every week, and, we got two big games left, and, a big one here tonight.
All right, thanks, Coach. Well, as always, we thank Coach for his time with us pregame. Chris talked about, in my discussion with him, sort of that win a week ago, keeping them alive with chance for the playoffs. But as he mentioned, these last two games are going to be very important for them. And you as well got to talk on the other side of things with Eisenhower's head coach, Chris Smith.
That's right, Eisenhower coming off a big win against Dakota. As Stephen said, I got a chance to talk to Coach Smith just a minute ago. Coach, back at Swinehart Field, but now you are MAC Red champions. How are you and the team feeling after that big win last week?
Well, the team's ready to work again. We celebrated it for one day, but it really felt good. Feels good to be MAC Red champions. It feels good for these kids to be champions. They've been through a lot in these last couple years, and they've worked their butts off, kept their heads on straight, and they really earned it.
You said just before we met for this interview that you're just along for the ride. Well, how's the ride feeling for you?
It feels real good when you got a team like this. I mean, these guys, they come to practice, they get their business done, they have fun doing it. They're a great group to be around. They truly enjoy themselves. The chemistry's great with them, and so yeah, coming here, I'm glad to be even a part of it.
Crosstown rival tonight, Utica Chieftains. You get the home locker room tonight. What are your keys to the game for tonight?
Well, the keys are we got to come out here and play a good game. I mean, this is a rival game for us. This is, we share this field. We practice on the same field at times. And these kids know each other. They grew up together. So it doesn't matter what the record is. Utica's going to come out and they're going to come try to beat Eisenhower, and we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be a great rivalry game for the crowd.
All right, Coach, good luck out there.
All right, thank you.
We thank Coach Smith for taking the time with us pregame. Stephen, this is a MAC Red championship team here with Eisenhower, but it is rivalry night here at Swinehart. Anything can happen. Kickoff coming up next on Shelby TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
first down.
Welcome to Swinehart Field. My name is Chris Wright alongside Stephen McDonald. We are now in the press box here as Eisenhower went to kick off to start this game, but it looks like we are going to get a re-kick here, an offsides penalty right at the start of this game.
Yeah, really looking forward to watching these two teams play on this mutual field as we talked about pregame, Chris. Two schools that obviously are very near and dear to me growing up here in this area. As I'm sure a lot of our audience by now knows, even attended Utica High School back in the day.
Eisenhower coming off a huge 31-0 victory last week against Dakota to win the MAC Red Championship for the season for the first time since 2017. Federico gets the kick off and bouncing off of his hands, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. That was Monty Gwilly. And we're going to start this drive from the 20-yard line.
You mentioned that big win on this field a week ago for Eisenhower. Chieftains as well coming off a pretty convincing win a week ago on the road against the Ford Falcons. Had the opportunity in our pregame coverage to talk with Coach Maruli about that.
Game time temperature 53 degrees. It is really starting to feel like football weather. Friday night under the lights. It's getting dark. Soon it's going to be Christmas. And if you look into the student section tonight, it is Christmas. First and 10 now for the Chieftains. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it wide. Dodging a couple tackles and breaking free down the sideline. And he's going to get pushed out of bounds. That is Numene Gwilly on the catch and run and a first down.
Well, as you take another look at it, just quick throw out to the side, get Numene Gwilly into space. Whenever I talk pregame with Coach Maruli, always talks about their need to get the running game going. That's something that for them offensively is really sort of how they build their identity around this offense, is getting that running game going. Of course, they typically have some really good offensive lines they're running behind, but I'd really like to see them establish Perozic early on in this game.
Perozic takes a snap. It's a low snap on the ground. He's just going to pick it up and try to run, and he'll get a couple yards on the scramble. Danger play gets about 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7 coming up. And I think on the Eisenhower side, on defense, they really want to pressure the quarterback. They had a lot of success last week against Dakota. We saw that right here on Shelby TV. If they can get to the quarterback, they can win the game.
Oh, absolutely. I think that, going back to what I said a moment ago about the identity of Utica, being a team that wants to run the football, they trust in their offensive line. They want to try and pound the rock as much as possible. On the flip side to that, as you said, Chris, the identity for Eisenhower defensively is just bringing pressure.
They're showing it now. That's Cody Raymond at the bottom of the formation. Perozic fakes the handoff. He'll throw it to Gwilly, breaks one tackle, but he's met by a host of Eagles, taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of about 5.
And that's too easy against this Eisenhower defense. They fly down to the hill to the football with ease. As you saw that time, Sammy Agnello getting in on the stop. And I think that's the thing that we saw a week ago as well from Dakota against this Eisenhower defense, just not really taking too many shots down the field, just trying to run the ball up the middle and throw these easy completions out to the side. But again, that's just too easy against this Eisenhower defense. You have to try and test them down the field.
Low-flying helicopter trying to get this rivalry action. Perozic takes a snap. He's going to hand it off this time. Up the middle. That's Jeffrey Cleaver on the carry. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that brings up 4th down and 10.
Cleaver, a guy we've talked about it all season with Utica, a guy that easily can get you 3, 4, 5 yards a carry, just always keeps those legs moving, but in that down and distance, getting those 3, 4, 5 yards aren't going to do a whole lot for you.
Connor Temple back to receive this punt. The Kick is away. Gets shanked. Goes out of bounds. Let's see where the referee's going to mark this one. And they're going to say the 49-yard line of Eisenhower, and that's where the Eagles will take over. We'll get our first look at Preston Crum and this offense tonight. Again, 31-0 last week against Dakota. Great job turning over on defense and able to take advantage of it. Crum puts a man in motion, and we're going to get a flag here. False start.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, still first down.
And Chris, even giving those 5 yards back, starting from the 44-yard line, not what you want for this Chieftain defense.
Crum takes a snap. He's looking to throw downfield. He's got a man wide open. Caught. Hayden Bill. Touchdown, Eagles. One play, one throw. 56-yard touchdown pass. Crum to Hayden Bills. It's 6-0.
Yeah, just had one-on-one coverage with Zachary Conley. Didn't look like he had help over the top. This nice, easy throw down the seam from Preston Crum.
Federico here to kick the extra point. And it is no good. Federico unable to capitalize on the point after, and this game remains 6-0.
Take one more look at that throw. Just puts it on an absolute dime to Bills. Again, no help over the top by the Chieftain defense that time. Bit of a bold strategy against this passing game of the Eisenhower Eagles and Joe Youngblood.
Hayden Bills was able to get just one step, and that's all he needed right there. Get past the defense, and like you said, no help over the top for the Chieftains. While we have a moment, just want to say the broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Shelby TV. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution, or the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Shelby TV. Federico ready to kick this ball away. And that will go into the end zone for a touchback. In high school football, automatic, if the ball goes into the end zone, it is an automatic touchback. Looked like the Chieftains have twice now wanted to take it out of the end zone, but unable to. They start the drive at the 20. As you see, they had to bring out the auxiliary bleachers here at Swinehart Field. It is a packed house again. Utica Chieftains on the visiting side today. Little strange feeling for them, but that's the way it goes every other year. First and 10 now, 9:15 to go here in the first quarter. Prozig puts a man in motion. That's Lancey. He'll take the snap, hand it off. Running up the left side, getting taken down is Cleaver, Jeffrey Cleaver. A gain of about 2 on the carry. Brings up second down and 8.
If you're the Chieftains on this drive, need to put a drive together. Didn't really have a whole lot going on that opening series just a few minutes ago. Look to open things up pretty soon. Can't fall behind too many possessions here tonight. Already finding themselves down, of course, 6-0.
5 wide receivers for Prozig. He'll take the snap, looking to throw. He'll throw left, and it goes short, intended for Zachary Connolly. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, almost just had to put that ball in the turf. Had to get it out quick, but neither guy in that area was really all that open. If he puts it on their frame, probably gets intercepted that time, so just throws it down in the turf. He'll live for a 3rd and 8 situation.
Another big 3rd down coming up here for the Chieftains. You do not want to give this ball right back to the Eisenhower defense or offense, excuse me. Five wide again. Prozig takes the snap, looking to throw. He's going to throw this ball deep down the left side. Pass intercepted. Bryce Hurley intercepted at the Chieftain 40-yard line. That is how Eisenhower can get you. Quick turnover.
Well, and Chris, as we take another look at it here, you'll see he stares the left side of the field all the way. This is something a couple weeks ago that I talked about in their game against Roseville. He got caught multiple times in that game staring down his intended receiver as Hurley just comes over the top, reads his eyes all the way and makes a jump on that ball. He has to be able to look the other way to get that safety moving to the other side of the field. If he does, that throw is there, but he cannot continue to stare down these receivers the way that he's been all year.
Crum now takes a snap, looking to throw again. He's going to roll out of the pocket, looking downfield. He'll just throw it to Charles out of the backfield, down to the 23, 22-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. Big catch and run from Kamari Charles gives the Eagles a new set of downs.
And then you see here on this play, kind of coming off what I said just a moment ago about Perozic, Crum does exactly what you're supposed to do. Goes through his progressions, he extends the play with his legs, keeps his eyes downfield, and he finds his man downfield, and they're able to pick up a good chunk of yardage.
Crum takes the snap, he'll hand it off to Charles up the middle, and he gets met right at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down now. There is quite a number of senior starters on both of these teams. This is the last time that these two teams will play. It's your last time against your crosstown rival. Crum took the snap, but we're going to get a whistle here.
Yeah, it looked like Chieftains subbing a man on late. They'll call the timeout, make sure that they have everything situated.
It did look like there was a late man coming back in. But it is a big rivalry game, but it is a great community event, as you can see some future Eagles on the sideline possibly. Everybody from around Utica here. The Eisenhower dance team out there trying to get the crowd in, and the Eisenhower dance clinic as well. Future dance team members possibly.
Yeah, it is. It's always a lot of fun. You know, we talked about it pregame. We talked about it at the top of the game back in the start of this quarter, but it's always fun when these two teams get together.
Crum takes a snap. He'll fake to throw, and now he's going to throw it towards the end zone. Passes, caught, touchdown Eagles. Brandon Kedrow in the corner of the end zone, and the Eagles are now up 12-0 pending an extra point.
Pressure from the right side of the Eagles offensive line almost got home to Preston Crum, but he lets this ball go just in the nick of time to the corner of the end zone. Had a couple Chieftains beat. One of those looked like Numini Gwilly out there in coverage, but another excellent throw aiming for that back pylon by Crum, and the Utica coaching staff up here in the press box off to our right. Sounds like something might have gone wrong on the back end of that play.
Federico for the extra point. This kick is up, and it is good. With 7:45, just over 4 minutes played here in the first quarter, the Eagles have a 13-0 lead over the Chieftains.
Excellent design there by Coach Youngblood. Saw the eyes of Preston Crum pump faked, looked like he wanted a little screen action out to the near side and then sends his man deep. That was Kedro. Willie was the man that bid on that pump fake, and then once Kedro got a step, it was pretty much over.
Again, the Eagles come in as the MAC Red champions, but you can't be looking ahead to playoffs or even next week when they're here taking on Clarkson. You do want to play a clean game. You want to get out, no injuries. Make sure you get out with the W, but early on here in the first quarter, it does look like the Eagles are rolling. Fedrigo ready to kick this ball away. And this one will bounce before the end zone and roll into the end zone for another touchback. Looks like we got another flag on the play here. This would be the second kickoff penalty against the Eagles. See if we can get a... No, this is going to be against the Chieftains. And they're going to re-kick this from the 45-yard line now. So Rocco Fedrigo will kick this ball away again. This kick is away, and this one will get to the end zone for another touchback.
Looks like no flags this time as well, so should be all clear. And Chris, we talked about this early 13-0 lead for Eisenhower, executing on both their deep throws from Preston Crum, but also you have to recognize as well, Chieftains giving them a couple short fields to work with on those possessions, so look for them to hopefully mount some kind of a drive here, try to get back in this ball game.
It did look like on that first drive, they had a couple plays that they were able to get positive yards, but the drive just seemed to sputter from there. All right, Prozic now in the shotgun. Eisenhower showing pressure, but back off. Here they come, Prozic looking to throw. He's going to throw it over the middle. Pass is caught. In stride, that is Isaiah McGarry all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Chieftains.
And that is how you open the playbook. That is how you respond. Big time throw from Prozic. I'll give him credit where credit is due. I was critical of him on that interception on their last drive. That was an excellent throw, excellent route by McGarry. And those two, we watched them all of warm-ups. They were working on those long throws to the sideline. He hits him just about where he was making those catches in warm-ups.
I was just about to say that. We watched in pregame as we were getting ready for our pregame interviews. Meanwhile, the extra point is up, and it is good. After 4:26 gone in the first quarter, it is 13-7.
Yeah, excellent response by the Chieftains offense and that coaching staff saying, hey, you have a guy over there on Eisenhower's sideline. He can throw it deep. We have a guy that can throw it deep too.
Definitely using that aggressive nature of the defense against them.
Absolutely. Eisenhower, because they pressure as much as they do in the box, that leaves their guys one-on-one on the outside. Chieftains have a guy in Isaiah McGarry they really like utilizing in a lot of ways in some of those one-on-one scenarios, and we saw it right there. A little slant and go, come back to the near sideline. We'll see now if that gets the Chieftains sideline going a bit.
Vincenzo Maltese ready to kick this ball away for the first time tonight. Falls at the 15-yard line. That's a live ball picked up and just gets to the 20-yard line is Bryce Hurley. Dangerous play there, but the Eagles are able to avoid disaster.
Gwilly got down there in a hurry, and now, Chris, you talk about Chieftains get some points on the board. They're only down a score, and now because of the excellent kick by Maltese and the coverage on the other end by Gwilly, first two possessions, Eisenhower with some short field position, now backed up inside their 20 to start this drive.
Crum has 4 receivers in this formation. Kamari Charles to his left. Crum takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and he'll get down to about the 24-yard line, a gain of 5 on the carry.
Charles, such a tough runner, able to get 5 on that run. Both these running backs not very big in stature, but they run very hard.
Crum hands the ball off, fakes the handoff, pass over the middle, caught. Connor Temple, a 15-yard slant route, gets them a first down at the 40-yard line, and the Eagles are looking to push.
Saw them at the start of last week's game doing a lot of hurry-up type of offense.
And the Chieftains will call their second timeout only about halfway through this first quarter.
Again, looked to be some miscommunication by the Chieftain defense. Looked like Zach Connolly was the man top of your screen running over to get on his receiver in coverage. Probably just called a timeout before Eisenhower could realize he hadn't gotten there yet and snapped the football.
Now we'll come back 1st and 10 again. This will be from the 40-yard line. Three receivers in a bunch formation at the top. Crum's going to throw it that way. Pass is caught. That is Connor Temple running up the sideline, and he'll get past the 50 down to the 48-yard line for another first down for the Eagles.
Got stacked up, as you'll see here in just a second, gets stacked up right after he gets that first down yardage, and then looked like Mati Gwilly comes right in at the end and just kind of bowls everyone over.
Crum takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Charles. Pass is caught. Falling down is Bryce Hurley, so that will be a loss of about 3, and it brings it up 2nd down and 13.
Crum just trying to get this ball out quickly. Bit of a low throw controlled by Hurley. Not sure he would have really gone anywhere had Numini Gwilly bearing down on him.
Crum takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Charles. Pass over the middle is caught. That is Brandon Kedrow, and he'll get down to the 34-yard line for another first down for the Eagles.
Chieftains have gotten beat already a couple times in one-on-one coverage on the outside, this time dropping into a bit of a zone, but Crum able to find his man in between the zone.
Crum takes the snap. He will hand it off to Charles this time, running up the middle. And he's going to get 4 yards on the carry. Brings up 2nd and 6, and the Eagles are running. Second down and 6. Crum takes a snap. He'll throw it to the top of the screen. Makes a man miss. That is Connor Temple. And he'll get down to the 18-yard line. Another first down for the Eagles.
It's going to be so imperative as this game moves along. The Chieftains secondary has to be able to make some of these tackles out wide, one-on-one. You see here, Temple just steps around his man. Looked like that was Dylan Kelly, the linebacker.
Crum now looking to throw. He's got pressure, and he's going to get sacked. Number 75 for the Chieftains, Braden Honer, gets the first sack of the game.
Yeah, and his second touchdown throw of the game in that corner of the end zone. Chieftains nearly got to him, but was able to get it away just in time.
Second down and 13. He'll draw to Charles, running up the left side. He gets down to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Eagles! Kamari Charles, 23 yards on the run. Just dodging defenders, able to get all the way down to the end zone. Eagles with another touchdown.
Excellent individual effort by Kamari Charles, just spinning and juking tacklers, but also on the other side for the Chieftains, nobody really tried to wrap him up. They all just put their shoulders down, tried to level him, but he just keeps his feet moving, absorbs some of that contact, and just found his way to the end zone.
Federico's extra point is up, and it is good. With 4:37 left here in this first quarter, the Eagles have a 20-7 lead over the Chieftains.
And this was the final score of last year's edition of this all-time series. As you take another look at that run by Charles, again, just nobody really wrapping up on that play. Looked like Monty Willie tried to get a hand on him, but you're gonna need more than one hand to bring down a guy like Kamari Charles.
Again, they tried to push him out of bounds, but he was a good 3 or 4 yards away from that sideline.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier this quarter, neither of the running backs that'll be featured in this game, whether it's Kamari Charles or Jeff Cleaver, neither very big in stature, but they run really hard. And like I just said on that replay, you're going to need to do a lot more than that if you want to get Kamari Charles down to the ground.
See if we can get a clean kickoff here. We've already seen 2 kickoff penalties, 1 from each side. Federico gets the kick away. This is caught at the 3-yard line, looking to make a return here. That's Jake Barg on the return. He'll get it down to about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Chieftains will take over.
Well, the Chieftains took their shot on the last drive, really had to at that point, down 13-0, had to try and do something to get a spark going, get your team back into this ball game. Now, would like to see them maybe try to possess the ball a little bit here, keep that Eisenhower offense over there on the sideline.
As you can see, the Chieftains brought a pink out here to Swinehart Field in the student section of the visitor side today. Prozic puts a man in motion. That's Willie. He'll hand it off up the middle. Jeff Cleaver takes it down to about the 30-yard line. That'll be second down and 2 coming up.
Excellent hard running by Cleaver. Gets a solid gain of, looks like they'll give him 9 on the run. Using Willie as a bit of a decoy that time.
Second down and 1 coming up. Again, the Chieftains definitely want to keep pace with the Eagles. Eagles have had 3 drives and 3 touchdowns. Prozic takes the snap, he'll hand it off again. Cleaver fumbles the ball and still loose. It looked like Sammy Agnello tried to pick it up, but Jake Barge is able to get the recovery, and it's going to be a first down for the Chieftains, avoiding disaster.
Yeah, not something you're accustomed to seeing with Cleaver, fumbling that football, but an excellent job by Lorenzo Mocheri. Came in from behind, just went in to wrap up from behind and punched that ball right out.
So they fumbled the ball forward and gave them a first down now. First down from the 34-yard line. Frozig takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw this ball, and it's incomplete, intended for Caston Risman. Unable to hang on to that ball.
Just try that quick throw underneath. Risman never had control of it. That's why it's incomplete and not a fumble. Just, you saw there on that replay, trying to get that ball under control.
.324 to go here in this first quarter. A lot of scoring and not a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, like I said earlier, this was the final score of last year's game, and like you said, Chris, not even yet out of this first quarter.
Frozig takes the snap, he'll fake the handoff, throwing over the middle, that's Gwilly, and it's caught with a great run down to the Eisenhower 48. Newman Gwilly with the catch and run. First down, Chieftains.
An excellent concentration by Gwilly, as laying out for it looked like Kedro. A couple weeks ago when we were here at Swinehart Field, Chieftains taking on the Roseville Panthers, they really suffered with some drops in that game, Chris. It was really tough to watch some of these guys like Gwilly and McGarry that are typically sure-handed, just dropping easy catches that night, and that time excellent concentration by Four and White.
Chieftains definitely the opposite of the Eagles here, really taking their time, getting the play, making sure everything is set.
Except this time maybe taking a little bit of too much time, and looks like they'll take a timeout as a result.
That'll be the third timeout of the first half as the rain starts to fall. This is now weeks in a row. It has to be 3 or 4 weeks in a row that we've had rain here at Swinehart Field.
Yeah, the weather has definitely changed in recent weeks, as you mentioned, Chris. Thought about it earlier today. It's interesting that you think about the first maybe 2-3 weeks of the season, you're out there in shorts and a t-shirt maybe, and by the end of the season we're all bundled up, and you look out just below us in the press box, students even out in their Christmas attire. Not sure I'm ready to admit defeat on it being that late in the year just yet.
Well, as there's the shot right there, we can see a crew of Santa Clauses here. Christmas in October. We still have Halloween. We're still a couple weeks away from Halloween. All right, we're back with football. Chieftains, 1st and 10 from the Eisenhower 47. Frozig takes the snap. He'll hand it off. Running up the middle, that's Isaiah McGarry on the carry. He'll only get to the line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Excuse me, that was number 12, Monty Gwilly.
Chieftains continuing to keep that clock grinding. Now just about 2 minutes left in this first quarter.
Frozig puts a man in motion. He'll throw it that way. That is Newman Gwilly. He stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he's able to get about another yard or two before he's brought down. That'll bring up 3rd down.
I like the idea of this play, Chris. Get him in motion, get him kind of at his top speed before he even really gets this ball. That way he gets it out in space, maybe gets a block or two in front of him, and he can try to hit that sideline. But again, Eisenhower defense just so well going sideline to sideline. Would like to see them maybe go back to something like they did on that play a couple drives ago. That was that big touchdown play to McGarry.
3rd down and 8 for the Chieftains. They definitely want to stay on the field. Pass is caught out of the backfield. That was Isaiah McGarry on the catch and run. Gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 4th down and 5 here for the Chieftains.
Looks like they'll keep the offense on the field. definitely, I think, agree with this call.
This should be the final play of the first quarter. 3 receivers bunched to the bottom of the formation. They'll spread them out a little bit there. Newman Gwilly's kind of directing traffic. Prozic throws it to Gwilly, and he's going to get to the 36-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a first down.
Well, he was directing traffic before the play. Looks like they got set just before that snap came off. An excellent job by Gwilly catching that ball, heading upfield and knowing exactly where that first down line to gain was.
And that will be the last play of the first quarter. After 1, Eagles score on every drive that they have, currently leading the Utica Chieftains 20-7.
And while we have a moment, as always, we'd like to thank Esplenditos for sponsoring us here at Shelby TV, providing the excellent pregame meal for our entire crew. You can reach them at 586-739-1070.
They were definitely a lifesaver for me today. A rough day in the afternoon, able to get a nice full meal before coming up to the press box. Pizza and some cheese bread, chips and salsa. Salsa was a little hot for me today. They like to surprise us.
Yeah, excellent first quarter of football between these two teams. Chieftains, if they can get some points on the board on this drive, should feel really good about where they're at in this football game right now. Of course, the 1 interception, really the one issue that they've run into so far tonight.
Prozic now 1st and 10. He'll put a man in motion. That's Kason Risman. Fakes the handoff to him. And that was number 12, Monty Gwilly, on the carry. He'll get a gain of 2. 2nd and 8.
Chieftains and head coach Matt Maruli really trying to get Monty Gwilly some touches this week, especially out of that running back position. Typically, you'll see probably about 90% of the time they'll go with Cleaver. Sometimes they'll mix in maybe a little bit of Newman Gwilly and a couple looks for Isaiah McGarry, but definitely looks like tonight trying to get 12 and White some touches.
2nd down and 8 coming up. Prozic's got 2 receivers to his left side, the bottom of that formation. Jeff Cleaver in the backfield with him. Puts a man in motion, that's Risman. He'll hand it off to Cleaver, running up the middle. He'll get met in the 2nd level down at the 31-yard line. That's going to bring up another 3rd down.
Another solid run right behind the center from Cleaver. Chieftains deciding, you know what, if we can get 3, 4, 5 yards a carry, as we've talked about with Cleaver, let's go do that. Make this a little more manageable 3rd down situation for us.
It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Chieftains. They are taking a lot of time. We don't really have a visible play clock here that's really managed by the officials on the field. But they are definitely taking their time, making sure that every step of each one of these plays is correct. Eagles showing pressure. Prozic takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Cleaver up the middle. And he gets stopped after a gain of 1. That'll bring up 4th down and 4 for the Chieftains. That'll make it 0 for 3 so far on 3rd down for Utica Chieftains.
And I think as we take another look at this replay, I think really they're playing for 4 downs here. They're going to stay on the field offensively, try to go for this 4th down and 4. So really just trying to maybe get a couple yards there on 3rd down, make it a shorter 4th down situation. Problem is they only got a yard, looks like, on that 3rd down run.
Another 4th down play here for the Chieftains on this drive. Already converted 1 4th down right before the first quarter ended. Prozic takes the snap, looking to throw. Passes deflected in the backfield. Number 5, Lorenzo Macheri, able to get the stop, and that is a turnover on downs. for the Eagles.
Well, Eisenhower defensively put all their pass rushers and linebackers right at that first down line to gain, and then they looked like brought 3 guys. Mocheri was the first guy in on that play.
And now the Eagles will come back on the field again. They have scored a touchdown on all 3 of their drives in that first quarter. A 56-yard touchdown pass, a 21-yard touchdown pass, and a 23-yard touchdown run from Kamari Charles. Crum takes the snap and hand it off to Charles, running up the middle. And he gets stopped at the 31-yard line, but we got a flag on the play. Looked like there might have been a face mask there in the middle of that pile.
A personal foul, face mask on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Automatic first down on that play. Yeah, there it is. Isaiah McGarry grabbing the face mask. This will be 1st and 10 from the Eagle 47. Crum takes a snap, looking to throw. Crum rolling. There's a flag on the play. Crum is able to get it out to back to the line of scrimmage. Crum not happy with the extracurricular there. We got 1 flag on the play. We don't need a second one.
Holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Holding against the Eagles.
And because, as you see here, Willie trying to get in there, at the end of the play, his helmet's going to come off. So Crum not on the field. Looks like Jack Bullock in at quarterback.
Bullock, high snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to run it himself, running up the right side, try to get around a defender at the 40, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
Excellent fake by Bullock. As you'll see here, good job going up and getting that snap. Isaiah McGarry just comes flying in, just hits the wrong guy on that quarterback keeper.
And Preston Crum will come back after taking the play off for taking off his helmet. That'll be 2nd down and about 14. Crum now changing the play. Snap goes over his head all the way back. Crum is just going to fall on it down at the 22-yard line. A lot of miscommunication here on this drive.
Yeah, just got to get some of these snaps down, That was back-to-back snaps, just going up and over the quarterback's head. Bullock on the last one able to go up and get it. Crum not as fortunate on this latest one.
And this will be the first 3rd down that the Chieftains have forced the Eagles to enter. 8 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter.
Looks like they have to get to the Chieftains 43 for a first down. So a long ways to go.
3rd down and long. Crum takes a snap. He's just going to hand it off to Charles up the middle. And he'll get down to about the 28-yard line. And Fedrigo will come out to punt this ball away.
And now if you're the Chieftains, you did your job. You got the stop. You got him pinned back a little bit at about the 26-yard line. The return man will stand just about 4 yards past where that first down line to gain originally was.
Punt is away. Bounces at the 45-yard line, takes an eagle bounce all the way down to the Chieftain 36, and that is where Utica will take over.
And to kind of wrap up my last thought, you did your job defensively, you got that punt. Now you've got just over 7 minutes to go. No timeouts, though, for the Chieftains and head coach Matt Maruli, but only down a couple scores. You have a chance to go down, put this ball in the end zone, and just creep a little bit closer in this football game.
As you can see, future dance team members of Eisenhower along the sideline. Again, just a great community event here for the whole city of Utica. Prozik in the shotgun, puts a man in motion, that's Risen. Takes the snap, he'll hand it off to Cleaver up the middle. And we got a flag on the play after a gain of about 4.
Have holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Be a holding call against the Chieftains, push them back 10 yards.
Yeah, it was right there. Looked like on the left side, 74 Landon Cook saw him after the play was over talking to the official. He is the one, looks like they gave the flag to, just kind of spun around Devin Steele, the defensive end.
First down and 20 now for the Chieftains. 4 wide receivers in this set. Prozik takes the shotgun snap. Halfback draw to Cleaver, running up the middle. And he'll get a gain of about only 2.
Very delayed handoff that time. Cleaver goes up the middle. Eisenhower again showing that loaded front along that line of scrimmage. Then at the last second started dropping guys out kind of one by one. Looked like Bryce Hurley dropped outside the box that time from his safety position.
Always good to see Cookie Monster at the game. You never know what celebrities are going to be at Swinehart Field. Prozik now takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, running up the middle, and he'll get down to the original line of scrimmage. Oh, excuse me. Nope, just down to the 32-yard line. That'll be 3rd down and 15 coming up.
Probably trying to just catch Eisenhower in a bit of a pressure look there. Prozik, not a guy you'll typically see take off and run on a design like that. Can extend plays when he needs to, but not really in sort of his makeup to tuck that ball and run.
3rd down and long for the Chieftains. Prozik takes the snap. He's looking to throw. He'll throw towards Numene Gwilly. We're going to get another flag on the play.
Yeah, they're going to get Landon Cook, the left tackle, again for a hold on Steele. Prozik tried to extend that play again.
Have holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
They'll decline that penalty, bring up 4th down, a punting situation for Utica.
Yeah, right there, Prozik tucks it and runs, and Steele just trying to get separation from Cook and get after the quarterback. Not much you can do there if you're Landon Cook. Just have to hold on and hope that Prozik can at least get away.
Connor Temple standing at his own 38, waiting for the punt. Good pressure from the Eagles, unable to get home. The punt is away. Temple will take it off the bounce, and he'll get tripped up at the 31-yard line. 32-yard line, they'll say. That's where the Eagles will take over.
And a gutsy move by Temple, fielding that football, had Chase Christian right in his face, just waiting for him to pick that football up. Looks like Temple said challenge accepted. Bit of a missed opportunity there on that last drive by the Chieftains. Finally forced a punt from Eisenhower, just unable to get anything going on their offensive side of things. They'll look for their defense to stand tall one more time.
After a lot of quick action in the first quarter, the second quarter has definitely been a slower go. Crum takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Charles up the middle, and he'll get taken down after a gain of 3.
Good job by Nick Jokai that time, getting in there, coming off the edge, and getting the wrap-up of Charles.
Charles again on the carry. Got tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but they're going to say he gained about a yard or 2 on that. Bring up another third down for the Eagles.
Looks like again, yeah, Jokai right there, working on the right tackle. Bit of a hugging match there between the two.
Crum takes the snap and throws for Connor Temple, and just 1 yard past the first down marker enough. That's first down for the Eagles.
Just quick throw into space. You know the Chieftains backing off a little bit in coverage now. They've gotten burned a few times down the field.
Crum now pass, caught by Connor Temple, and he's going to get taken down at the 33-yard line. Quick slant for the Eagles, another first down.
And he gets additional yardage because, again, the Chieftains in the secondary not wrapping up.
Crum takes the snap. Pressure behind him, and he's sacked. Isaiah McGarry, a sack and a little trash talk there.
Yeah, excellent job by McGarry. Was not going to be denied on this blitz, just runs right through his jersey opposite Kamari Charles.
Good job for Preston Crum to hang on to that ball.
And also McGarry has to be careful not to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty there.
Charles with the handoff, trying to run left. Isaiah McGarry again with the tackle, meets him at the line of scrimmage there. They're going to say he gained 1. It's a third down.
Something being lit under Isaiah McGarry on these last few plays, and again, got to be careful right there. Just throws him down by his shoulder pads, got up high on him. Really fortunate these last few plays the referees haven't tagged him.
Isaiah McGarry again with the pressure. Crum looking to throw. He'll throw it over the middle to Charles, and he'll get down to the 26-yard line. Not going to be enough for a first down. It would be 4th down and 2 or 3. And the Eagles offense stays on the field. Crum takes a snap, looking to throw. Pressure from McGarry. He'll throw, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Hayden Bills. McGarry just laying the pressure on this drive, able to get a turnover on downs from the Eagles.
Yeah, not sure what the coaching staff said to him before that defensive series, but all of a sudden they realized, hey, we have a heat-seeking missile here on our defensive secondary. Let's get him in the backfield. Let's let him be disruptive on this drive, and he did just that. And he makes the play on that last throw from Crum that came up short. He was being held by the right tackle on his way into the backfield, and he still makes the play on Crum.
Chieftains will have the ball, 2:20 to go here in this first half.
And now not typically see Isaiah McGarry on the sideline during a Chieftains offensive possession, but after the work he just did defensively, they'll give him a quick breather.
Eisenhower will receive the kickoff in the second half, so this is an important drive for the Chieftains. Handing off up the middle is Cleaver. He'll only gain a yard on that carry. Again, the Chieftains used all 3 of their timeouts in the first quarter. A lot of miscommunication from the sideline on offense.
And I'm almost wondering here, Chris, if you get a quick stop on this second down play, maybe does Eisenhower call a timeout? They do have 3 to work with and just over a minute and a half to go in the half.
Perozic, 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it off up the middle. That's Jeff Cleaver again. This time he'll gain 3 on the carry. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 coming up, and the Eagles will take a timeout.
So they'll have 2 remaining, 1:18 to go in the half. And as you've pointed out, Chris, they will get the ball to start the second half. So good strategy there by Coach Smith on the Eisenhower sideline. Looks to force the Chieftains to punt this ball away in a moment if they can get one more stop. And I think right now, if you're the Chieftains, the reason that they're not taking more shots down the field is A, they don't have those timeouts to work with, but also B, I think at this point in the game, they feel pretty good about where they are, just down 2 scores. Feel like maybe you go into halftime, you regroup a little bit, and then you just have to come out in the second half and make a few plays.
Big 3rd down and 5 here for the Chieftains. Again, I don't see Isaiah McGarry on the field. And we're going to get another timeout called by Coach Smith. You can't keep them. They don't roll over. They're not old cell phone minutes.
Absolutely. We talk about it week in and week out. Always want to make sure your guys are on the same page. Everybody knows their assignments. Believe it or not, this is a big 3rd down play because Eisenhower has the chance to get this ball back, maybe take a few shots down the field right before the half, and then, of course, get the ball to start the second half. So, again, big sequence here over the next minute 18 or so. And, again, just like I was saying a moment ago, if you're Utica, feel like if you can get out of these last minute 18 without surrendering any more points, just send it to the halftime locker room, you can feel pretty good about the way you played the first 24 minutes or so.
We've already seen Perozic throw an interception tonight. We've seen Jeff Cleaver drop a fumble but recover. The Chieftains were able to recover it. 3rd down and 5 now. Three down linemen for the Eagles. And we're going to get a penalty flag. Let's see which team jumped first.
You got dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Illegal procedure. That'll make this 3rd down even harder for the Chieftains.
Yeah, it looked like they got Landon Cook that time for the false start. Him and Mocheri kind of went simultaneously, but of course, Cook not knowing the snap count that time.
He'll get the snap, hand it off to Cleaver up the middle, and he's taken down after only a gain of 2 or 3. And the Eagles will take their final timeout of the half. With 1:08 left, the Eagles are going to try to get this ball back, see if they can at least get into field goal range, get another 3 points going into the half. Like I said, they get the ball back to start the second half. Coming up at halftime, we'll see the Eisenhower Marching Band halftime show, as well as the Eisenhower dance team.
Yeah, I think if Eisenhower can get a solid return on this punt, which of course Connor Temple is capable of doing so, if he can get maybe 5 to 10 yards on a return, wouldn't be surprised if you see them try to take a few shots down the field and at least get a field goal from Federico before this half is all said and done.
And we've seen this season, Federico is able to get a pretty good distance on his field goal kicks.
Absolutely. We've seen him hit from about 42, 43 yards with ease, it seemed like. I remember, I think it was last week's game, I said he probably could have hit one from 50 if he really wanted to.
They were definitely amped up to play Dakota last week. Punt is away. This will be fair caught at about the 32-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will take over with just a minute and 1 second left here in the first half.
And that was a booming kick. Drives him all the way back to about his 33-yard line. He originally stood about the 43-yard line, so forget about advancing the ball 5 to 10 yards. He actually went backwards 10 yards to go get that football.
Preston Crum and the Eagles offense taking over at the 33-yard line. Eisenhower has been able to throw the deep ball. Crum looking to throw. He's got some pressure. Pass is tipped but caught by Kamari Charles, still on his feet. And he gets tackled at about the 39, 40-yard line. They're going to say the 40. Clock it will continue to roll.
Dominic Gandy looks to be the one that got his hand on this football, a guy that plays on both sides of the line of scrimmage for the Chieftains.
Crum now looking to throw. Pass is bobbled and dropped by Brandon Kedrow. Third down coming up.
And that's a big drop. Would have put them at the Chieftains' 49-yard line. You feel like maybe you get about 20 or so more yards, and that's probably within range for Fedrigo.
34, 35 seconds here in the second quarter left. Crum takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking to throw. Over the middle, down the sideline, and pass is caught by Brandon Kedrow and pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
Excellent throw.
Have holding on the offense. That's 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, third down.
Excellent throw from Crum. Felt like Jack Miller, the backup quarterback playing defensive back here tonight for the Chieftains, might have been able to get there. It was just a touch underthrown, but of course the penalty kind of negates all that.
A brutal holding call. Clock will roll, and it looks like they're not going to run another play here.
That was just an unfortunate series of a couple plays there for Eisenhower.
Crum will take the snap, trying to catch him sleeping. Pass is caught by Connor Temple.
Because you feel like if you completed one of those passes just a moment ago, probably set yourself up well for a field goal opportunity to end the half, but now all the way back at your own 40-yard line.
40. It'll be 4th down and 4 from the 40-yard line. See what the Eagles are going to decide to do here.
Looks like they'll send the punting unit out. There wasn't really much they could do, even if they got that first down. Probably didn't have time to run another play after that. Looks like Braylon Burnside late getting into the formation.
Have delay a game on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 4th down.
Yeah, there was 2 factors involved with that. First, the decision to punt the football away took a little while. Then you had to sub everybody on. And then, of course, Burnside very late getting into formation.
Fedrigo gets the snap. He'll get the punt away. Will land at the 35 and roll down the sideline to the 31, and the clock will run out. After a exciting, fast-paced first quarter, no scoring in the second quarter, the Eagles are going into halftime with a 20-7 lead over the Utica Chieftains. We'll be back with the second half of action right after this.
the pizza pie.
We would like to thank Esplendido Mexican Cuisine for their 20-year sponsorship of both Utica and Eisenhower football coverage. It's that great taste that helps keep a great Shelby Township tradition going.
Looking for a score, a schedule, a story? MHSAA.com has you covered. Our newly redesigned website has everything you need to follow high school sports in Michigan. And it's optimized for mobile use. Fans can submit scores on a Friday night, check playoff pairings and game times, or read about the student athletes from your community. Your first stop is MHSAA.com. Connect with us online and get everything you need all in one place.
Congratulations to all. What a great dance here tonight at Swinehurst Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to present the 2023 Eisenhower Marching Eagles. Last Wednesday, the Marching Eagles were awarded a Division I rating in the MSBOA Marching Band Festival for the show you are about to see. The Marching Eagles were under the direction of Mr. Brad Arnold, the field director. Tony. The time is now to cue up the two Foo Fighters from 2003. Times Like These rocks out as our opener in tonight's show. Our version is under the field direction of Mackenzie Mazzola. The Rocky Horror Show introduced the world to strange dance moves and wacky characters, teaching us that there's no better time like the present to express yourself. Our version of the time horn is under the direction of Logan Grove and features Benjamin McCarthy, Zachary Bishop, Aaron Kowalczyk on trumpet, Celeste Brown, Nathan Lassen on trombone, and Garrett Solis, Freshman Palooza, Maddie Green, and Anna Macios. Say good riddance to the band and instead invite you to have the time of your life. Our version of this 1997 Green Day song featured Celeste Hall on the trombone, Michael Davis on the horn, Sophia Yarborough on trumpet, and Alex Westphal on the bass. We also featured Garrett Solis, Karen Rouse, and Lila Webster.
Welcome back to Swinehart Field here as Eisenhower Eagles taking on Utica Chieftains. Currently with a 20-6 lead, the Eagles over the Chieftains. And Steven, an electrifying first quarter into a slow second quarter. What were some of the highlights that you saw?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the first one. The first touchdown of the game, Hayden Bills gets by Zach Conley. Another one, second possession for the Eagles, that time to Kedro. Chieftains were down 13-0 early on in the first quarter. They responded in a big way. First play of their possession to McGarry, but then Chieftains a little trouble bringing down Kamari Charles along the sideline, able to find the end zone. But all of a sudden, it was Isaiah McGarry on that one defensive stand for the Chieftains, just a heat-seeking missile on that series.
Isaiah McGarry, key to note, we did not see him on the following offensive possession. Definitely needed that rest. There were 3 straight plays where it was Isaiah McGarry in the backfield or with the pressure. Just a lot of defensive playmaking from number 2 in white.
Yeah, he was just taking up residency in the backfield of the Eisenhower Eagles. Preston Crum was staring him down a few times on that drive, had to try to scramble and get away from that pressure being brought on by the Chieftains and Isaiah McGarry. Had a couple guys as well. Matique Willie was one on, I believe it was the third down throw from Crum that got in there as well. And that was probably, Chris, the Chieftains' better defensive series of that first half. It'll be interesting to see as we get started with our second half in just a moment, how they deploy Isaiah McGarry from that secondary position, see if they use him in sort of a similar way as they did on that series. Of course, you can't do that on every single play. Eisenhower will make the necessary adjustments, but it'll be interesting to see how they pick their moments when they do decide to use him in that way.
Well, as I said right when we came back from halftime, all of these points were scored in that first quarter. More back and forth in the second quarter, turnovers on downs from both teams in that second quarter. But early on here in this third quarter, it's going to be who can make that first punch coming out of halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. I think going back to that first half, really the one blemish I would say for Utica was that interception thrown by Perozic early in the first quarter. That allowed Eisenhower to jump out to that 13-0 lead, because what it did was it gave them another short field. Once you started making them have to play the full field, you saw the Chieftains really settle into this football game, I think, especially on the defensive side of things.
Eisenhower is going to receive this kick to start the second half.
And I think if you're Utica, your defense has gotten you some stops as of late, but you can't expect them to do that for this entire second half. I think offensively they do have to make another play. You saw in those highlights to open the half, the throw to Isaiah McGarry was really their one big play in that first half offensively, so you can't just rely on your defense to continue coming up with stops, because this Eisenhower offense and Joe Youngblood, they know how to pick their moments. They know how to take those shots down the field, and they can score in a hurry like we saw in that first quarter.
It is a pooch kick picked up at the 30 by, I believe that's number 7, Connor Temple. And he gets down to the 43-yard line, and that is where the Eagles are going to take over. I think one thing that we should note, Stephen, is that we saw a couple weeks ago this team come out of the locker room with a big lead and blow that lead and almost lose this game. A couple weeks ago, I believe it was against Stevenson.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, too, you mentioned something we saw a couple weeks ago when we were here for the Utica Chieftains against Roseville. Chieftains down big at the half, tried to do an onside kick right down the center of the field like we just saw there. A bit of a shorter kick that time as they were able to recover it.
Crum now taking over on offense from the 43-yard line. He'll hand it off. That's Kamari Charles running up the right side. And he'll get taken down from behind at the 50-yard line. And that'll bring up second down after a gain of 6.
Yeah, excellent run by Charles. If you're the Chieftains defense, you're going to have to limit the amount of yards he gets in the second half. Really try to get yourself in second down and third down and manageable.
Charles again up the middle, And that will be enough for a first down. We saw Charles with a 23-yard touchdown run in the first half, making defenders miss, and he's continuing his dominance on the ground.
Yeah, and even as I say that the Chieftains need to try and limit his ability to just take that handoff and run straight up the middle, that's easier said than done. He's a very shifty back, something that I've talked about a lot here on Shelby TV this season.
Crum looking to throw. Still looking to throw. He'll throw it towards the sideline, and it will be caught by Brandon Kedro. A little bit of a low throw, able to beat the pressure and gain of about 5 on that play.
Good job by Crum stepping up in the pocket. Defensive ends for the Chieftains really collapsing that pocket around him. Again, so close to getting there and getting home on Preston Crum, but he does well just stepping up and making that throw.
It's a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. He'll hand it off to Charles up the middle. Now he's running down the left side, just one block, and he's taken down from behind at the 19-yard line. And a big first down for the Eagles.
The misdirection, the play fake, just handing the ball off, allowed the Chieftains, or forced the Chieftains, I should say, to get out of their running lanes a bit that time.
First down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Eagles are driving here.
If you're Coach Maruli, you'd like to see your defense a little more disciplined in your gap assignments that time on the run, something that they'll have to do throughout this second half.
Crum takes the snap. He's looking to throw, going for the corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete. A lot of hand fighting there between Hayden Bills and Zachary Connolly of the Chieftains.
Excellent job one-on-one by Conley this time. Just a race to that corner of the end zone. No safety help over the top, so Conley all alone in coverage that time just goes stride for stride with him. You'd like to see him turn around, try to locate that football, at least maybe get his hand up to try and bat it down, but again, just does well trying to face guard the receiver that time.
2nd down and 10 now. Crum takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Charles, running on the right side. Gets down to the 10 and brought down at the 6-yard line. And that's another first down for Charles on this drive.
And it's going to be a long second half for the Chieftain defense if Kamari Charles is ripping off runs like this where he doesn't get contacted. You see there, Jokai tried to reach for him in the backfield. He doesn't get contacted until he's about 15 yards down the field. They have to do a better job in their run assignments defensively.
1st and goal from the 6. Crum puts a man in motion. He'll take the snap. Looks like he kept it himself. A lot of pressure in the backfield, and he'll get down to maybe about the 4-yard line.
Does well to just drag some Chieftains with him. Again, Isaiah McGarry getting in the backfield pretty much untouched that time. Looked like it was Kedro that tried to step in front of him.
We're going to stoppage a play on an injured player. See if we can get a number for you.
Looks like that might be Newman Gwilly down. Again, tough to see the number from our angle, but does look like number 4.
And that is Newman Gwilly, head coach right there with him. Hoping he's okay. He's a huge part of this Chieftain offense, as well as the defense playing both ends.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris, defense as well has had some huge interceptions for this Chieftain defense this year. Had a huge pick 6 against Dakota back in week 2. Had a pick 6 a couple weeks ago as well.
Looks to be all right walking off under his own power. This is going to bring up 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
For the Eagles, what do you call here if you're Joe Youngblood? Try to get this ball in the end zone for the Chieftains. How do you force a field goal attempt?
Hand off to Charles, trying to run on the left side of the line. Doesn't look like he got anything on that one. It's going to bring up another 3rd down.
And there it is, that 3rd down upcoming. That's the scenario for both these teams. Chieftains really hoping they can force a field goal in this situation.
Handoff up the middle. Devin Steele, 4-yard touchdown run. That's a touchdown, Eagles.
Offensive line does their job, opens up a huge hole on the right side. Steele just has to take that handoff and just a nice, easy jog into the end zone.
Well, as you said, Kamari Charles not the biggest running back, so why not use a little bit of size? And he's able to force his way down into the end zone. Fedrigo's extra point is up, and it is good. Also good to see Numene Gwilly right back on the field for that extra point on defense, so he's all right to play.
Yeah, just turn, hand the ball off. Mati Gwilly comes unblocked, but of course on that play design, you're willing to live with that as they try the right side and that huge hole opens up for him. Probably didn't matter, whether it was Devin Steele or Kamari Charles on that run. Either one could have easily worked their way through that hole.
Definitely what Coach Smith wanted, what Joe Youngblood wanted coming out of the locker room here in the second half. Drive right down the field, score a touchdown, increase your lead. .35 to go here in the third quarter. Eagles have now opened up a 27-7 lead over the Chieftains. Fedrigo with the kick. And it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Chieftains going to take over here at the 20-yard line. Just try to get points on this drive. They want to end up in the end zone. Almost need to if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you laid it out pretty well there, Chris. Eisenhower, if they can get a stop on this drive, especially if they can get a stop and then go down and score one more time, probably easily put this game away. For Utica, just try to string together a drive. Had some chances in that first half of play, just weren't able to put it all together except for that one quick scoring drive.
Brozick takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Cleaver, and he is smacked at the line of scrimmage. Cody Raymond making sure that Jeff Cleaver knows that he's there.
Saw just a little bit of daylight running through the middle. Cody Raymond slams the door on him.
It's a gain of 1 on the carry. Again, the Chieftains really taking their time, calling the play, getting to the line, hiking the ball. Not time that they don't have really to waste. Prozic takes the snap. He's looking to throw. Looked like he wanted to throw the deep ball. He slides. Definitely looked like a little bit of late contact, but no flag on that play.
Chieftains coaching staff on the far sideline looking for that call, kind of came sprinting out towards the official. Brozic slid down. The contact came right around his ankles and his knees. That's probably why they were looking for that call. Injured his ankle on this field back in week 1. So just trying to protect their quarterback on that run that time.
This is going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Chieftains. They are 0 for 5 today so far on 3rd down.
McGarry split all the way out, top of your screen. Looks like Caston Rissman to the bottom.
Prozic takes the snap a little bit behind him, and he's just going to carry this and go down after a loss of about 3. And that will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, play just breaks down the minute that snap was a little bit off its mark. Just had to try to create something out of nothing that time.
Lone Eagle back to receive the punt at the 50-yard line. Picked up at the 45, and he's running. That's all the way down to the 25, Bryce Hurley. And the Eagles have great field position to start this drive.
Unless this was another booming punt from the Chieftains, the return man Hurley was standing already at the 50-yard line waiting for that kick, so they were going to get solid field position either way, but the excellent return by Hurley doesn't hurt either.
First down and 10, they're going to say the ball at the 26-yard line. Crum takes the snap, and he's going to look to throw. Still looking downfield, pressure in the backfield. Still looking, passes incomplete. Just one step ahead of his intended target, Hayden Bills. Bring up second down.
And we talked about, Chris, on that possession for the Chieftains, try to stay in this football game. Eagles trying to slam the door, try to put this game away here in the middle stages of our third quarter, and that's exactly what they tried to do on that play. Sent everybody downfield towards the end zone. They were trying to put this game away with 6:02 to go in the third quarter.
Preston Crum directing traffic in the backfield. He'll take the snap, fake the handoff to Charles, looking to throw. Pass is off the hand and incomplete. Intended for Brandon Kedrow.
And the edges for the Chieftains are starting to get some pressure in the face of Crum. See, climbs the pocket again, just rips this ball to the near side, but just a touch behind Kedrow. If he takes a little bit off that, I'd like to think that Kedrow may be able to one-hand snag that ball. Again, good job by the Chieftains' edges, just pushing their guys back into the face of Crum.
Third down now, Crum on the draw to Charles, and he's going to get hit in the backfield after a loss of about 6 or 7. Almost maybe knocks him out of field goal range.
Take another look. See, Jokai just swim moves on the right tackle. That was Gianluca Manzo. And in there as well looked like Dominic Gandy, number 78 for the Chieftains.
And it looks like Federico's going to come out to punt this ball from the Chieftain 32-yard line.
Yeah, I think from where they currently are, it would have been, looks like about a 47-yarder, so just maybe a touch outside of his range. We have seen him hit from 42 and 43 this year.
Snap is low, but Federico's able to get it away. Trying to catch it. That was number 26 in blue, Jonah Tchaikovsky. Unable to get it, and it rolls into the end zone for a touchback. Chieftains now take over after a huge stop. Good field position for the Eagles. A couple good plays, but unable to capitalize on it. 5:01 to go here in this third quarter.
Yeah, still just that little glimmer of hope for the Chieftains just to be able to stay in this football game for the time being. If they can put this ball into the end zone on this drive, helps their cause even just a little bit more.
Prozic looking to throw. He'll throw to Numene Gwilly. It's like a loss of 2 or 3 on the play.
And I know this is something that they like going to, whether it's they throw it out that way to Gwilly or they do it to Isaiah McGarry. This is something that they like running within this offensive scheme with a guy like Perozic, just those quick underneath throws. But we saw it last week against Dakota with the Eisenhower defense. That's playing right into their hand defensively. Their defensive backs are way too quick. They get downhill to the ball in a hurry.
Second down and about 12 now for the Chieftains. Perozic takes the snap. He'll throw to the sideline. That's Numene Gwilly again. And he'll get pushed out. Maybe about a gain of 4 on the play. He'll bring up third down.
Able to slip that initial tackle, get a couple yards that time, but still a third down and long situation. Looks like it'll be a 3rd and about 8. Some Chieftains students on the opposite side of the field from us, not used to holding down the fort on that side of the field.
Perozic takes the third down snap. He'll throw it. Screen pass to Gwilly, and he's able to get into the second level. Finally brought down after a huge gain down to the 36-yard line. It's a first down.
Well, one thing is the Eagles typically like to bring pressure. They're not afraid to do so on a situation like a 3rd down and 8 as that play was. One way that you can easily beat that is some of these quick little slip screens underneath. Just allow that pressure to come through that time. Perozic delivers a nice ball in stride to Gwilly.
First down and 10 now. Ball is at the 37-yard line. Chieftains looking to drive. Perozic takes the snap. He's looking to throw. Pass is caught. That is Zachary Connolly. And he's brought down almost immediately after a gain of about 4. Brings up second down.
And one thing I noticed, Chris, a couple plays ago is we see some of the tight coverage they're giving to guys like Isaiah McGarry, and Newman Gwilly. But one thing I saw a few plays ago was to this side of the field, Braylon Burnside is giving about 5 to 8 yards of coverage to Conley. And that time they go his way, and he gets a couple of yards there. See maybe if they try to go back to that matchup. This time they're matched up to the bottom of the screen.
Second down and 7 now for Utica. Perozic looking to throw. He'll throw to Newman Gwilly on the other end of the field. And he's taken down after a gain of about 5 on that one. That's another third down coming up.
This time Eisenhower backing off a bit in coverage. Just throw that ball underneath, allow Gwilly to get a bit of a head start on the run. Looks like he got about a long 4 on that play.
It's going to bring up third down and 3. The Chieftains 1 for 7 tonight on third down.
And I think if you pick this up and you're able to maybe score before the quarter, or at least early part of the fourth quarter, you at least, I think, give Eisenhower something to think about the rest of the second half.
Whole defensive line jump there. No snap, though. Perozic takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Cleaver, who's tripped up in the backfield. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gained a yard on that one. They're going to give him a yard, and that will bring up fourth down for Utica.
And while I think that this offensive line and Jeffrey Cleaver are more than capable of getting the 3 yards they needed on third down, I still think that you were planning on going for this the whole time, so that's why you run that run play on third down. Try to maybe, at the very least, get a yard or two, make this a more interesting fourth down situation.
Clock is ticking. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 4th and 2 for the Chieftains.
Possibly look at those 2 receivers to the top of the formation.
One goes in motion. Handoff goes to Cleaver, and he's able to run up the middle and get a first down and move the chains for the Chieftains.
And that motion does its job just enough by Risman. Gives Eisenhower's defensive front something to think about, because you can pull that ball back and throw it to Risman out in the flats. They do have to think about that on that fourth down play. Allows Cleaver to just scamper his way up the middle.
And Utica will let this clock roll down, and that will do it for the third quarter. Eisenhower adds 7 points in that quarter, takes the lead 27-7. While we have a minute, we should take a second to talk about our double feature coming up next week. Both these teams are at home. On Thursday, Utica will take on Farmington, who come into tonight 2-5. We don't have their current score. And then on Friday, Clarkston will visit Swinehart to take on Eisenhower. Clarkston 4-3 this year. So big action next week, last week of the regular season. It's going to be a lot of fun here on Shelby TV. So make sure you stick around and stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun couple of games. Looks like Eisenhower well on their way to 7-1 here tonight. Have a chance to go 8-1 with a win to cap off the regular season next Friday night. And for Utica, something I talked with Coach Maruli about in the pregame, that win a week ago against Ford really kept your playoff hopes alive. This game obviously being what it is at this point, but next weekend, that game on Thursday could be a real deciding factor whether or not they make the playoffs.
1st and 10 now for the Chieftains, start of the 4th quarter. Prozic takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff to Cleaver, looking to throw it down the middle deep, and it is just out of reach. His pass intended for Isaiah McGarry.
And that's actually a really nice throw as you take one more look at it from Prozic. Tries to lead him back to the middle of the field as McGarry was running the seam, just maybe a touch out in front of him, trying to lead him back to the middle of the field. But again, that's a nice throw by Prozic. I think if he throws that ball a little more straight on or even more back shoulder, Burnside has a chance to pick that ball off.
Second down now. Clock stopped, 11:55 to go. Again, the Chieftains really take their time with each play. Prozic takes the snap, looking to throw again. This time towards the sideline. Pass is caught. Zachary Connolly along the sideline. Another big play for the Chieftains, able for a first down.
Conley was lined up top of the formation with Gwilly. Looked like a bit of a zone that time by Eisenhower. They were concerned on the underneath route by Gwilly. That left Hurley, the safety, alone with Conley on that corner route to the far sideline. Nice throw over the shoulder by Prozic. That's two really good balls by number 9 on back-to-back plays.
First and 10, Prozic takes the snap. Looking to throw again. Pass is caught. Zachary Connolly on the catch. Gain of about 3 on the play.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it was about a 6-yard route, but he comes back to the ball. You see there, just kind of jumps back for the ball. So in catching it, actually lost about 2 or 3 yards that time.
And as we saw earlier, there was a little bit of rain in the game. Seems to have dissipated a little bit. Field should still be wet though, causing those slips and slides. Clock rolling, 11 minutes to go here in the second half, excuse me. Prozic, empty backfield, looking to throw. Pass is caught over the middle. That is Caston Risman. And that's another Chieftain first down.
Excellent job by the junior wideout. Eisenhower showing pressure. They bring pressure on the back end. Looked like a bit of a zone. Guys just kind of dropping out in the middle of the field. Risman just finds that opening underneath, just sits down in it. Nice easy throw over the middle for Prozic. And an excellent job by the offensive line, giving him time to make that throw.
First and goal for the Chieftains. Ball at the 8-yard line. Prozic takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Cleaver, running up the middle. And he'll get to maybe about the 6-yard line. And bring up second down and goal.
Cleaver doing what he does, just running hard. Absorbs a hit in the hole. Looked like that was Kedro maybe in the hole that time.
Again, you would think that the Chieftains would have just a little bit of a sense of urgency here. If especially you score here, you maybe get a defensive stop, you can get right back in this game. There's still time here.
Taking a shot at the end zone.
Almost intercepted through the hands of number 3, Jimmy McGuire in blue.
Yeah, a couple Chieftain receivers in the area that time, but also with that, a couple Eisenhower defenders as well. Dangerous ball back of the end zone. Looked like Eisenhower had as much of an opportunity to catch that football as the Chieftains did.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal for Utica.
And this will be an interesting play call on this 3rd down because I really feel like this is 4-down territory. The field goal at this point doesn't really do you much good, so I'd like to see what they call here with 6 yards to go.
Krozik's got 3 receivers on the right side of the formation, looking that way. Pass is caught out of the backfield. Jeff Cleaver loses yards on that play. And that'll bring up 4th down and goal now.
And I get the idea of what they were trying to do. They're trying to get Cleaver out into space, try to just easy dump off underneath, maybe makes a guy miss. But coming up in coverage was Jimmy McGuire, just sticks him, and looks like they'll say he lost a yard that time. And as expected, they'll keep the offense out on the field at this point. That field goal doesn't really do you a whole lot of good. Looks like Conley and Gwilly to the top of the formation. Isaiah McGarry is the slot man.
We're going to get a whistle. And a timeout called by the Chieftains. Definitely want to make sure that this play is the right play. 8:44 to go here in the 4th quarter. Eisenhower with a pretty dominating 27-7 lead.
And the thing, too, is I feel like Utica's played a fairly good game here tonight. Really just the one issue I think that they had was back in the first half, that interception thrown by Perozic. But I think otherwise he's done pretty well tonight. Had that beautiful deep ball to McGarry for the lone score for the Chieftains. And I think for the most part, outside the first 2 or 3 possessions of the game for the Chieftain defense, they've played pretty well since about the middle of the 1st quarter, even especially since the 2nd quarter on.
Let's see what play Matt Maruli has for this 4th down and goal. Perozic in the shotgun. He's got Cleaver to his left, 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Perozic takes the snap, rolls left, looking to throw back over the middle. Pass is deflected and falls to the turf. No good. And the Eagles will take over on offense.
Good idea trying to roll him to his left, get him away from some of that pressure. They've really tried to bring the pressure off the right side of the Chieftains' offensive line, so roll him away from any potential danger that he might run into. But just an excellent job by that Eisenhower front, getting their hands up to bat that football down.
In the last 8:38 here of the 4th quarter, Eisenhower, Crum will take the snap and hand it off to Charles with a big run up the middle, down to about the 18-yard line is what they'll say. But you want the Eagles to play mistake-free football, no turnovers. You don't want to get anybody hurt. You don't just run this clock down, take as much time as you can, get off the field, play again next week.
And I think the injury thing, you can speak to that for Utica as well, with possible playoff implications on the line next week.
Crum pass complete to Hayden Bills on the left sideline. And we saw last year on the road, when it was the last game of the year, Eisenhower went to West Bloomfield, I believe, and Preston Crum got injured, was not able to finish his season last year into the playoffs. So it was a big hit in that game that ultimately meant nothing, but for the kids, you can't tell them that you're playing for nothing. 2nd down for the Eagles. Crum looking to throw. He'll throw over the middle. Pass intended for number 7, Connor Temple. Brings up 2nd down.
And some
3rd down,
solid
excuse me.
coverage by Landon Drew that time, running step for step with Temple.
3rd down and 1 for the Eagles. Did look like Temple may have only needed to reach out his hands on that one, but just 1 step away. We're going to get a whistle here. Looked like the ball was spotted at the Wrong yard line. Crum is under center now. Takes the snap, hands it off to Steele up the middle, and he's able to get a first down.
Just powerful running from Steele that time. Not all that used to seeing Crum under center, but they'll do it on occasion in those short yardage situations like that was.
Clock will continue to roll. We're at about 7.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Under center again, but we got a flag here. Offsides.
Have dead ball, encroachment on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Encroachment called against the Chieftains.
Looks like penalties have been pretty even by both sides tonight.
We have seen a little bit of chippiness. No calls either way, so the referee is letting them play. Crum takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Charles, who's running up the middle. And he'll get about 4 on the carry. Bring up second down.
And it's kind of funny. Isaiah McGarry came all the way to this side of the formation, came right off the edge. Eisenhower ran it right to the spot where he vacated from to come to this side of the formation. So McGarry had a long way to go to be able to make that play.
Crum now takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff to Charles, looking to throw. He's going to keep it himself and just run down the field. Looked like there might have been a holding call, but Crum is running down the sideline all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! 57-yard touchdown run. Looked like a little aid from a hold there, but no call on the field. Crum's able to run that in for the end zone. 57 yards.
Yeah, definitely looked like you could have thrown the flag. Looked like Joe Kai, number 7 for the Chieftains, might have been being held that time by the right tackle. But if you're the Chieftains, you can't let that affect the play. You still have to try and get downhill to the ball and stop the runner that time in Crum. Can't allow him to go the distance like he just did.
The kick is up, and it is good. With 6:28 to go here in this fourth quarter, a big 57-yard run from Preston Crum. Eagles take the lead 34, Utica Chieftains 7.
Conley, towards the end of that run, was able to fight off his blocker, but just not in time as Crum just sprinted right by him.
As the rain continues to fall here. Not as heavy as we saw last week when Dakota visited Swinehart Field.
Eisenhower here tonight, you've pretty much done what you've needed to do. You've played a clean game. You've put points on the board. As you mentioned, Chris, back in the first quarter of play, scored on your first 3 drives, did Eisenhower. For Utica, I think at this point it's just kind of wrapping up these last 6 minutes, 28 seconds, maybe try to get the ball in the end zone one more time before time expires. Just give yourselves a little bit of something good to feel about before your next game next Thursday night.
Federico kicks this into the end zone for a touchback. And as I said to kick off the broadcast, you know, we have a lot of seniors here, which this is the last time that they will play in this game, including Eisenhower quarterback Preston Crum.
Yeah, and on the other side, Perozic as well for the Chieftains, both senior quarterbacks for their respective teams.
Isaiah McGarry, Jeff Cleaver, Numene Gwilly, and Zachary Connolly, all seniors. We'll see a big line change here for the Chieftains next season. Perozic in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, handing it off to Cleaver, running up the middle, and he'll get about 8 yards, 9 yards. they'll say 8 yards on the carry.
And I do think this is pretty cool, Chris, how we get to end this regular season, these two teams meeting on this field together tonight. And then, as you pointed out earlier, this quarter, next week, they both get to play at home in the same week. Usually they're every other, so one's home, one's on the road, as I'm sure much of our audience knows that. But kind of cool that they'll both be able to play a home game to end the regular season here next week.
Prozig in the shotgun. He'll hand it off up the middle. That's Cleaver again. And he'll get stopped right at the line to gain, and they will give it to him. First down for the Chieftains.
Just run Cleaver straight up the middle, try to see what he can get on the run, try to fall forward for an extra yard or two, as he's very capable of doing. And I would think for the Chieftains right now, you're just trying to wind this clock as much as possible, try to keep Eisenhower's offense off the field for the final less than 5.5 minutes if you can, as their defense has had to play quite a bit in this second half for the Chieftains.
Prozig takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff to Cleaver, throwing across the field. Pass is caught and complete by Nick Lancey. And he'll get a gain of 8 on the catch and run. Clock is ticking.
And Eisenhower, not shying away from what they do defensively, brought Tchaikovsky off a blitz off the edge, but picked up well by Jeff Cleaver that time, allowed the throw to the far side to Lancey.
Second down and 2 here. 5:05 to go in the first quarter. In the fourth quarter, excuse me. Cleaver gets the handoff up the middle, and he is stopped again at the line to gain. And they're going to give him the first down for the Chieftains.
Able to get the first down. Eisenhower again bringing Tchaikovsky off the edge, but getting tripped up by Noah Smith that time.
First down and 10 from their own 40 for the Chieftains. Prozig gets the snap. He'll hand it off. This time it's Xavier Crosby on the handoff. Running it up the middle. Gain about 2 on the carry. Now we're seeing some of the second string here for the Chieftains.
Yeah, senior that we didn't really see really at all this year, to my recollection. A guy, number 17, Brent Cole, a senior, lining up in the slot for the Chieftains, so this will be one of the last times he suits up at Swinehart Field.
Takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Crosby again, running up the middle, and he is not knocked at the 50, but keeps his feet and running down the sideline all the way down to the 15-yard line. Finally pushed out of bounds after a huge gain.
Heck of a run by the junior. Just bouncing off guys. They tried to spin him down to the ground, but he kept his feet moving. Almost Jeffrey Cleaver-esque that time. You see there, gets about 8 or 9 yards before he's really contacted by an Eagles player. Blocking in front of him was exceptional on that play.
Prozig takes the snap, hands off to Crosby. He fumbles the ball on the ground, still loose, and finally picked up. They're going to say Eagle ball. Thomas Gowell with the fumble recovery. Crosby just could not handle the handoff. That's the second turnover of the game for the Chieftains.
And just a tough break for Crosby. Had that excellent run on the prior play, just didn't get the clean exchange on the handoff that time.
Now in at quarterback, Jack Bullock, looking to throw. He'll throw it wide. Pass is caught That's number 19, Griffin Damase, the junior.
So looks like both teams starting to put some backups in the game, kind of a mix of first team and second team out there, especially looking out at that Chieftain defense. Couple guys, especially in the secondary, a mixture of starters and backups out there now.
He'll take the snap, handing it off up the middle. That was number 22, David Scheel on the carry. The senior. Clock is rolling.
Eisenhower
3 minutes to
came
go.
Quickly up to the line this time.
Bullock takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Scheel again up the middle. Keeps his feet moving all the way down to about the 40-yard line. They're going to say the 39-yard line is where he stopped. Another third down coming up for Ike. 2 for 7 on the day is Eisenhower. Bullock takes the snap, looking to throw. He'll throw towards the left side. Pass is caught. Isaac Amori with the catch and the first down.
That time in coverage, Rissman giving a lot of cushion to the receiver, Amori. Nice easy pitch and catch underneath the coverage that time. One-on-one on the outside.
Gonna bring up first down. Clock is rolling. 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Bullock throws it to Damasi. And he'll get down to about the 49-yard line, a gain of 4 on the little shovel pass.
And I think at this point, if you're the Chieftains, just try to keep everything in front of you. I know some of the backups are into the ball game now for you defensively. Just try to keep everything in front of you. Keep the ball in the middle of the field. Keep that clock turning.
Minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter. Bullock takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. This is David Scheel again, down to the 45-yard line. And that will be a first down for the Eagles.
And I think at this point, Chris, you probably still have to snap it 2 more times, I would think.
And I think if you're Jack Bullock, you're probably trying to get as many in-game reps as you can here. Again, he is the junior. He will be competing for the starting spot next year. He'll take the handoff. That is David Scheel again.
And yeah, looks like they will have to snap the football 1 more time. Should be about 10 seconds left by the time they have to snap the ball. But this should just about do it.
Bullock hands this ball off, running up the right side and getting down to the first down yardage. That will move the chains 1 more time. And like you said, that could be the last play that they need to run.
Yeah, clock stopped just long enough to set the chains, but now runs. So unless they want to get up quickly and snap this football 1 more time, doesn't look like they should. And I think looking down at the sideline, Coach Smith kind of just waving them off and now pointing over at the clock, letting them know that they don't have to snap it if they don't want to.
And the clock will roll out all the way down to 0. That is going to do it for this game. Your final score of the game, Eisenhower 34, Utica Chieftains 7. Stephen, what were some of the keys to lead us to this final score?
Yeah, I think for Eisenhower it was simple. You came out here, you executed at a high level as they've done all season long. You really handled your business is the best way I can describe it. And I think if you're Utica, there's no shame in the way you played tonight. You battled hard for 4 quarters against a really good team, as we pointed out pregame, the MAC Red champs here in 2023. So really, you gave them everything you had for 4 quarters. You just came up on the other end of the scoreboard.
I think on the other side of the ball for the Eagles, it was a great offensive showing, but your defense was definitely playing bend, don't break defense, only giving up that one big long pass for a touchdown. Other than that, the Chieftains were able to drive, but were not able to score on several different occasions. So the Eagles were able to keep them out of the end zone several times. Our next broadcast, like we said, is this Thursday coming up, as the Chieftains will take on Farmington right here at Swinehart Field. And then on Friday, Eisenhower Eagles taking on Clarkson. For my broadcast partner, Stephen McDonald, my name's Chris Wright. Your final score tonight, the Eisenhower Eagles 34, Utica Chieftains 7. Thank you all for watching wherever you are all over the world on Shelby TV. Good night.